What's up, Generation 420? Welcome back to the G420 Studios. I am Unk, and today we're going to be doing some flat earth conspiracy videos. Okay, that's what we're going to be reacting to. While we're reacting to that, I thought that we would go back to a previous one that we've done because I enjoyed it so much I wanted to give it another shout out. And that one, of course, is from Pure Life. It is the Divine Frost. Let me put my old man eyes on so I can see for y'all. It's the Divine Frost. We have 23.23% THC and a CBD of 0.08%. This came to us from Pure Life right here in Alamogordo, New Mexico. You guys can see that. Let's take a look at these pretty buds. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They smell good. So we're going to twist one of these cigarettes up and watch our videos. Again, I'd like to just say thank you for supporting my channel. We're just trying to grow some great content. At the same time, enjoy some wonderful different products of flower from different types of dispensaries. And I'm going to give a review. So while I'm rolling my cigarette, why don't you guys go ahead and get your stuff ready. Come sit down. Let's watch these flat earth videos. Have a smoke and enjoy them. Again, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, share, notify, all that good stuff. The more subscribers we can get, the more content I can put out there. The more views we can get, the more stuff I can bring for y'all. And again, remember, we always rate this product out of 1 to 10 buds at the end of every video. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to watch the review on the product that we sampled this day. All right, here's our cigarette. And with that, let's check out these flat earth videos.
The facts about flat earth. Flat earth is touted as the mother of all conspiracies, marginalized, suppressed and ridiculed. But the facts of the matter are different. It is an undeniable fact that water always finds its level in all of the oceans on Earth, and we never see water bend. It is a fact that the horizon is always perfectly level. No matter how high we go up, we always witness a level and flat plane. It is a fact that the horizon always rises to appear at eye level. It is a fact that the North Star Polaris never moves, not even an inch. It is a fact that constellations stay the same, despite the alleged movement of Earth. But what do you think? Is the Earth flat?
Is the Earth flat? That's a good question.
These low-flight jets proves that Earth has no curvature. They never dipping the jet fighter craft's nose down. It is necessary to adjust with the Earth curvature if the Earth indeed has curvature. As a matter of fact, they fly straight towards their destination without any adjustments to the so-called Earth curvature. If only the Earth is a giant ball, then they must follow the curvature by dipping the craft's nose down, or else they will fly straight to space and beyond.
Radar Mechanics 101, they built it for a flat, stationary Earth. There's no doubt about it. And my goal is for some young fighter pilot to listen to what I just said, go out tomorrow and set the bottom of your L-strobe on your altitude, run it out there to 80 miles, and that bottom altitude on your cursor will stay the same out to 80 miles. Whereas it should get bigger, right? Because the Earth is curving away.
Makes a little bit of sense.
Flat Earth.
To Google Earth.
Proven.
Measure from one point to the other, and it won't connect. Now, measure around Antarctica. It won't connect. Measure around Brazil. Connects. Measure around Africa. Connects. Measure around the North Pole. Does not connect.
Why? Why doesn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the world is flat.
The Earth is flat.
You don't see the curvature of the Earth. That stuff is flat.
That's some pretty compelling evidence. But
This might just be the best flat earth proof you've ever come across.
okay.
And trust me, it's going to make you rethink everything. You've heard all the theories about Earth being round, right? We've all seen the pictures from space, the CGI animations, the globe in classrooms. But what if all of that was just part of a larger story? What if you've been missing something right in front of your eyes this entire time? According to what we've been told, the Earth's circumference is about 24,901 miles. Okay, cool. But if that were true, there would need to be a very specific amount of curvature happening as we move across the planet. I mean, we're supposed to be on a ball, right? So naturally it should curve in every single direction, not just the one you're looking at. Think about it for a second. On a ball, no matter where you are, the ground beneath you should bend away. But when you actually look for that curvature, where is it? Now here's where it gets interesting. Instead of relying on NASA's billion-dollar equipment and fisheye lenses, what if you just took matters into your own hands? Some people have done just that, sending high-altitude balloons with regular, non-distorted lenses. And what do you see? No curve. A flat horizon as far as the eye can see. Flat, straight, level. You ever wonder why they're called airplanes and not air balls? They fly straight across the sky, never curving, to match the supposed curvature of a globe. If we were on a ball, wouldn't they need to constantly adjust their altitude? But they don't. They fly level, and don't even get me started on gravity, because let's face it, that's just a theory. After all these years, gravity still hasn't been proven. What we do know, water doesn't stick to a ball. Ever tried balancing water on a basketball? Exactly. The math is another thing that doesn't add up. There's supposed to be a curve of about 8 inches per mile squared. So why don't we ever see it? From high up, you'd expect to see a pretty clear curve, yet the horizon stays flat. That's something you can see with your own eyes. No need for fancy space agencies to tell you otherwise. So why the push to make us believe we're spinning on a ball through space? What's the end game here? Here's the thing. You don't have to take anyone's word for it, not even mine. Just think critically, look around you. Everything in your everyday experience shows a flat, stationary world. They've been pushing the globe model on us since we were kids, but why? Maybe it's time we start questioning that narrative, and don't feel bad if you've believed in the globe your whole life. We've all been there, myself included. But once you start doing your own research, things start making a lot more sense. Suddenly it clicks. The flat earth isn't just a theory for some fringe group. There are real, undeniable proofs right in front of us. You've just got to be willing to see them.
51 seconds is enough for me to prove the Earth is flat. Massive engineering projects like the Suez Canal were built across 100 plus miles with zero curvature adjustment. Perfectly flat. No arc. No correction. Commercial airline pilots fly thousands of miles without ever tilting the nose downward to follow a curve. Flight manuals don't mention curvature at all. At cruising altitude, the horizon always stays at eye level, whether you're at sea or 35,000 feet. It never drops, as it should on a sphere. Sunlight often appears in sharp, angled beams, creating small, focused light spots on the ground. That kind of light behavior suggests proximity, not 93 million miles. There has never been a single, continuous, real-time video of the Earth rotating in space. All we have are stitched clips, CGI, and composite images. Antarctica is off-limits for independent exploration. Since 1959, it's been locked behind international military protection. You can't just go there. The deeper you look, the more obvious it becomes. See it for yourself, maps, tools, and a full 3D model of the flat Earth in the mobile app Flativerse. Link is in bio.
Might have to go check that out. I'm kind of curious.
The Earth is flat, stationary, and enclosed by a glass dome known as the firmament, which contains the sun, moon, and stars, all of which move, not the Earth. Above and below are waters.
I just want to mention one thing, okay? That it does mention the firmament in the Bible in the book of Genesis. That's all I want to say.
This isn't a conspiracy. If satellites were really in space, why would we need communication towers in the middle of the ocean? A compass only functions properly on a flat surface to differentiate between north, east, south, and west. Water always stays level and contained, with the Arctic Circle and Antarctica acting as barriers that hold the oceans in. The solid glass dome or firmament keeps the air inside, creating a sealed, airtight environment. The Earth doesn't spin at millions of miles per hour like a ball. The sounds of thunder booms are produced when solid objects shift. Even world leaders know this truth, as shown by the flat Earth map on the UN logo. Once again, it's the sun, moon, and stars that rotate from east to west, not the Earth. The people who taught you that the Earth is a globe are fully aware of and believe in the flat, enclosed system we all live in and that no one can leave. We're told that we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun in the heliocentric model at 66,600 miles per hour. On top of that, we're supposedly chasing the sun through space at nearly 500,000 miles per hour. According to this model, we're spiraling through an infinite universe, never in the same place twice. Now consider the Georgia Guidestones, which had a small hole drilled through one of the central stones. If you looked through that hole, you would always see Polaris, the North Star. But how could we be moving in so many directions, traveling vast distances, and yet that star remains perfectly aligned in the hole? It should shift out of sight constantly, yet it stayed in place for 40 years until one day someone blew up the monument. They say Earth spins eastward at 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. So here's a question. How does a plane flying eastward at just 800 kilometers per hour reach its destination? Shouldn't the ground be moving too fast for the plane to catch up? And what about landing? Imagine trying to land a plane safely on a runway that's supposedly zipping along at 1,600 kilometers per hour. Sounds risky, doesn't it? The official explanation is that Earth's atmosphere is stuck to the planet, held by gravity despite the vacuum of space above it. But think about this. If Earth were a spinning ball, pilots would constantly need to adjust for the curve. At 800 kilometers per hour, a plane would have to lower its nose by around 850 meters per minute to stay on course with Earth's curvature. Otherwise, it would be flying higher and higher, reaching about 50,000 meters in just an hour. Yet pilots don't make these constant adjustments. Once they reach cruising altitude, they level off and maintain a steady course until it's time to descend. No constant corrections for Earth's curve, just a straight level flight path. Doesn't that raise questions? If Earth were really spinning and curving, wouldn't we see constant course corrections? But we don't. It's a compelling clue that maybe things aren't what we've been taught. What do you think? If you're curious to dive deeper into these ideas, make sure to check out more videos on this page.
I mean, I am curious. It's got me thinking. I mean, I know they've been lying to us forever.
All right, I'm gonna fuck y'all up with some shit on this one. All right, this is the Urbano Monte map from 1587. Excuse me. North Pole. No ice. No ice around any of these areas, okay? There's North America, South America, Africa, India, Russia, China. Okay, so very similar to this map. North America, South America, Africa, India, China, Russia. Okay? Only thing different, Australia. There is no Australia here because it hasn't been discovered yet. This is 1587. Australia wasn't discovered until 1606. So that's why that's not there. But my main question is, if this is a globe flattened out and this is on the bottom, right? What the fuck is this? There's no ice on it. And guess what? Antarctica hadn't been discovered yet. Antarctica was discovered in 1820. And if you look, oh look, there's an alligator, there's a camel, warm weather animals. So, you want to explain to me, first thing, what the hell is this, all this land? And second thing, what froze them? What happened between 1587 and 1892 where those areas got frozen?
What indeed? I mean, you can't argue with some of this stuff.
Oh, these people. All right. First, you'll see it there. And I put arrows so you can see. You can clearly make out that it's a fly. Kind of flies around, gets blurred, and then it's in the shot, and it's walking, and I think it's on the outside of the glass. Even if it was on the inside of the glass, it couldn't fly around in the space station properly.
I mean,
the science community is ignoring a lot of the things that we're looking at. And so normal people are going out and doing experiments. And one of the experiments has turned up an amazing fact that we've not been told. And it destroys the whole idea of this heliocentric system. And that is the moon. Now, you can actually measure the temperature of the moonlight next to the temperature of the shade of the moonlight, and you'll find the moonlight is colder than the shade, the opposite from the sun. So the moon is throwing out its own light, and that light is the opposite from the sun. Now, that tells you that it's not reflecting the sun's light. It's producing its own, and its light is different from the sun's. So, the scientific community have not told us this, because they won't tell us this, because it destroys this idea that the sun is lighting up the moon.
Everyone knows, like, if you're in sunlight, it's colder in the shade, right? So if it's 100 degrees in the sun, it's 90 degrees in the shade. You go to the moonlight, like, especially in a full moon, especially if it's high in the sky, the moon is its own independent object. It is not reflecting the sun rays. The sun is its own object. Also, about the same size, which is, again, coincidentally, why the moon fits so perfectly in front of the sun during an eclipse. We always thought it was coincidence that even though it was 400 times farther away, that it was also exactly 400 times less diameter, which is why it fits. And the other weird thing about the moon, which everyone thinks, oh, it's just a coincidence, is that we never see the other side of it. It's constantly perfectly rotating, so we only see one side of the moon. Exactly one side. It's not like like we have like a quarter of a degree every 5 years or half a degree here and there. It's always the same sign. There are no coincidences when it comes to this system. It was deliberately built, but I think it was deliberately built to be detected. And I think we were naturally supposed to figure this thing out maybe as late as the 1970s, but the government figured it out first, and they have been spending a heck of a lot of money trying to keep it secret.
Why? What's the big secret? People want to know.
Documented proof
found
of flat
extremely
Earth.
interesting. Official documentation claiming the Earth is flat, and that mathematical equations used in aeronautics assume a flat, non-rotating Earth. Check these out. This is a CIA document sourced from the Russians, and it's titled Dissertations Defended in the Scientific Council of the Institute of Physics of the Earth. In the document, it mentions a near sun and a formula that is derived on the assumption of a flat Earth. This United States Army document from the Army Research Laboratory on the propagation of electromagnetic fields over flat Earth mentions transmitters placed on the surface of a flat, idealized Earth. In one of its figures, it also mentions flat Earth. In another Army Research Laboratory document, it depicts a diagram showing a flat Earth, crepuscular rays that we mentioned earlier, and a near and localized sun. Here's another document on projectile flight dynamics, and the equations in the document assume a flat Earth. Here's a NASA document on the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. Introduction. This report details the development of the linear model of rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. NASA document on the SR-71 Blackbird and its top speed of 2,193 miles per hour. Maneuvers depending on a non-turbulent atmosphere and a non-rotating Earth. Federal Aviation Administration document. Equations of motion assuming a flat, non-rotating Earth. Another NASA document. A rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. An aircraft model for the AIAA Controlled Design Challenge. Flight dynamics of a rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. NASA Technical Paper 1285, Flat, Non-Rotating Earth. A NASA Georgia Tech project in conjunction with the U.S. Air Force. A model frequently used is that of a flat, non-rotating Earth. You might argue that some of these documents are taken out of context. But you have to admit that a lot of these flight calculations are based on a flat, non-rotating Earth because they come right out and say it.
I mean, what do you say to that? Why would they document that like that?
200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Dubay. 1. The horizon always appears perfectly flat, 360 degrees around the observer, regardless of altitude. All amateur balloon, rocket, plane, and drone footage show a completely flat horizon over 20 plus miles high. Only NASA and other government space agencies show curvature in their fake CGI photos and videos. 2. The horizon always rises to the eye level of the observer as altitude is gained, so you never have to look down to see it. If Earth were in fact a globe, no matter how large, as you ascended, the horizon would stay fixed, and the observer or camera would have to tilt, looking down further and further to see it. 3. The natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level. If Earth were a giant sphere, tilted, wobbling, and hurtling through infinite space, then truly flat, consistently level surfaces would not exist here. But since Earth is in fact an extended flat plane, this fundamental physical property of fluids, finding and remaining level, is consistent with experience and common sense.
I mean,
3 proofs that the Earth is flat. Part 1. Number 1. Airplanes do not adjust the angle of their flight, which is strange. If the Earth were a sphere, they would fly into space. Number 2. The temperature in Antarctica and the equator differ significantly, although the distance from these places is extremely insignificant. When you understand that the Earth is flat, then everything becomes clear. Number 3. If the Earth were spherical, ships would not even see lighthouses at night. But ships always see lighthouses regardless of the distance.
A lot of what they say does make sense. However, you know, I mean, we all know we've been lied to for ever by our leaders. So, you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. You make up your own mind. I'm not here to persuade you to believe one way or the other. We just threw these videos together because I thought it was an interesting subject. With that, let's go ahead and give our review. Of course, we already gave a review on this on a previous video, but to be fair, of course, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 buds. This is, in my opinion, a fantastic smoke. Fantastic smoke. The Divine Frost at Pure Life here in Alamogordo, New Mexico. 8 out of 10 buds. Solid 8 out of 10 buds. All right, guys, with that, I appreciate you watching our video and hanging out with me. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. The more you guys do this, the more shares that we get, the more views that we get, the more subscribers that I get, the more videos I can put out for you guys. So if you enjoy this content, please comment below. Give me a like. I'll see you on the next one. We'll have a different one next time for sure. And with that, always keep it hippie. Peace out.